The member representing the Ona State constituency in the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Otuekong Sewudofo-Lesien, had, during the Christmas season, shared love with his people in the traditional institution. Otuekong Sewudofo-Lesien, during the period, also paid homage to traditional rulers in the area at the palace of the paramount ruler Ididem Akpabio Udokpa and constituents in his country home, Ikorakwanko, Ona local government. The story is here presented.
The assemblyman Otuekong Esien and his entourage were received by the paramount ruler Ididem Akpabio Udokpa and other traditional rulers. The paramount ruler, who was represented by the clan head of Nongdem, Etebomokpan Eno, described Otuekong Sewudofo-Lesien's visit to them as a mark of love and respect. He lauded the legislator's performance within the first 6 months in office and encouraged him to continue to represent his constituents well while attracting dividends of democracy to the area. On his achievements so far, the paramount ruler particularly mentioned his empowerment of 400 Ona youths and women who are directly on the payroll of the legislator.
It was no mistake, no mistake, not to represent
the wife of the paramount ruler, Obawan Patience Ukpa, who spoke on behalf of wives of traditional rulers, described their guest as a worthy son of Ona with ability to serve his people. Obawan Patience Ukpa pledged the support of Ona women to Otuekong Esien throughout his tenure and beyond. Otuekong Esien, who presented various gifts to the traditional rulers, thanked them for standing by him during and after the election and pledged to continue to seek the advice of elders. The assemblyman said, having worked closely with them, he was aware of some of the problems facing the traditional institution in Ona and promised to tackle them appropriately.
One of them was
at his country home, Ikorakwanko, where he presented rice and cash to each of the 12 political wards, Otuekong Esien charged youths in the area to be good ambassadors of Ona and Akwa Ibom by exhibiting good character and hard work. He said he will continue to empower the youth through various training programs and financial support.
Freedom about me back to our local government. I mean, at least a wee back. I mean, 10,000. That's at the minimum.
The House of Representatives member for Eketfra constituency, Mrs. Owidega Ekpo-Tai, Mr. Vincent George, and Permanent Secretary in the State Civil Service, Elder Ezekiel Omo, who were on the entourage, also addressed the people.
The best governor that we have, His Excellency, the Kenodom Gabriel Emmanuel. Very PDP is my game ground.
You're still watching AKBC Channel 45 News at dawn. We'll be back with more stories after this time out. Please don't go away.
There is a land of great beauty and wonderful people. Here, Mary Slessor called home until she passed on to greater glory. Here, Lord Lugard lived and administered Nigeria. The hills roll like the waves, and the waves rise like the hills. A land named after God, Akwa Ibom State, the land of promise. Welcome to Akwa Ibom, the land of promise. We
are a threatened generation, stalked in the consciousness of militarization. Failure to debrief as citizens leads to impunity on the part of leadership. The greatest office is neither that of the executive nor the legislature, but the citizens. Democracy returns power to the people. State of the nation, updating your political consciousness for political relevance and proper integration.
And now to the rest of the stories. Akwa Ibom State government has warned all illegal occupants and trespassers on lands acquired by government for agricultural purposes to vacate such lands before or by the end of this month. A statement by the Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources, Dr. Matthew Ekaite, says the warning became necessary because of the need for the implementation of the administration's mechanized agriculture program. The statement noted that government has finalized arrangements to put all her portions of land into productive use in partnership with the relevant farmers groups in the communities concerned. The Commissioner requested immediate compliance as, according to him, bulldozers would soon roll into such lands in preparation for the 2016 first season planting. The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Uyo, Professor Enefio Essien, was among the personalities honored with an award of excellence by the Ibioni Ibom Welfare and Development Union, Iwadu. The award was the high point of National Convention of Iwadu, held at the Multi-Purpose Pavilion, Ipa, in Ibioni Ibom Local Government. The story is here presented.
Also honored during the Iwadu Convention were the paramount ruler of Ibioni Ibom, Okuku Ime Udo Sorinyang, the senator representing Uyo Senatorial District, Obongba Siyal Betakman, the senior special assistant to the president on Senate matters, Senator Itainang, the member representing Ibioni Ibom State constituency in the State House of Assembly, Barrister Ime Okun, the Commissioner for Environment, Dr. Inyebong Essien, and the Commissioner for Science and Technology, Dr. Mrs. Elizabeth Obot. Responding on behalf of fellow honorees, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Uyo, Professor Enefio Essien, thanked Iwadu for the award of excellence. He pledged that they would live up to the lofty expectations desired of them by the Union in their distinguished positions. Professor Essien commended the efforts of the successive leaders of Iwadu, who not only led in their time, but have continued to show interest in the progress of the Union. Earlier, the President General of Iwadu, Dr. Joseph Udo, had in the report of his 3 years tenure acknowledged the tremendous assistance of the honorees to the Union and beyond. Dr. Udo outlined the achievements of Iwadu and the challenges he encountered during his tenure and urged all stakeholders to do their best to assist in the development of Iwadu in particular and Ibioni Ibom in general.
The State Police Command has arrested one Edith Stephen Asukwo of Ikoro 2 in Itu local government area on allegation of murder. Edith Stephen Asukwo, 28, who lives and does business in Ikoro 2, was arrested in connection with the death of an unknown pregnant woman suspected to come from one of the neighboring states. According to the police, Edith, who has confessed to the crime, said he was contracted by one Okunefyong, the village council chairman of Ikoro 2, to bring a fetus from the womb of a woman for rituals. He said that the said Okunefyong, who accepted to pay them 50,000 naira each when the supposed job was accomplished, told them the ritual was to create confusion in the Ikoro 2 village council and therefore enable him to continue as the village chairman. The police said that Edith was arrested after he had successfully lured the pregnant woman who went to buy oysters to his backyard, strangled the woman, and hid the body in the bush, waiting for nightfall to harvest the fetus for the said Okonefiong. The police commended the suspect's sister, who volunteered information to the police. On interview, the suspect, who admitted that he committed the crime along with 2 others, now on the run, alleged that they were to collect 50,000 naira each from the said Okonefiong when they successfully supplied the fetus to him. He said that he had known the woman for over a month and that the deceased traded in oyster, known in vernacular as nkop, and was his client. A famous fashion consultant and beautician, Mrs. Barbara Emmanuel Iba, has been reported dead. Mrs. Iba, popularly known as Nene, was until her demise a retired nurse with the Lagos State Hospital Management Board and wife of the chairman of Akwa Ibom State Football Association, Mr. Emmanuel Iba. A graduate of mass communication from the Lagos State University, late Barbara Iba has left behind 2 children. A statement by the husband, Mr. Emmanuel Iba, said, "The late Barbara will be interred today at Chief A.A. Iba's family compound in Okaniba, Sienudum local government area. The burial will be preceded by a funeral mass at the Assumption Parish, Okaniba, by 10 o'clock in the morning." Mr. Iba has invited members of the State Football Association, the sports community, as well as sympathizers to the funeral. Senate resolution urges federal government to set up National Council on Public Procurement. Barack Obama expresses optimistic views of America's future as he delivers his last annual State of the Union speech as President of the United States. Mercy Ekere has details of these and other stories in a national and foreign news segment.
Of the Nigerian Senate, a motion for the urgent need to empanel the National Council on Public Procurement of Nigeria was raised. The Senate resolved to urge the federal government to officially set up the National Council on Public Procurement and to achieve the objective for which the act came to be. Also, the bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Credit Guarantee Scheme Fund Act went through its second reading. On the issue of the missing budget, Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki said the committee assigned to look into the matter will deliver its report in the next plenary. The Naira has further depreciated on the parallel market to 300 Naira to $1. Operators of the parallel market have attributed the slump to the Nigerian Central Bank's move to curb the supply of the dollar in the country. The CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, had said the foreign reserve stood at about $28 billion compared with $37 billion in June 2014, and that the Bureau de Change operators were depleting the reserves at the rate of $28.4 million per week, hence the need to curb the operations of the Bureau de Change. United States President Barack Obama has delivered his last annual State of the Union speech to the U.S. Congress. President Obama called on leaders to fix U.S. politics and criticized political candidates who use rhetorics that did not represent American values. President Obama expressed optimistic views of America's future and urged Americans to consider how to improve fairness in the economy, use technology to combat climate change, and keep America safe. On the nation's economy, the President said progress has been made, but more needed to be done. He sounded a warning to Islamic State terrorists, adding that the terrorist group must be hunted, and called on Americans to show respect towards Muslims.
We focus on destroying ISIL. Over-the-top claims that this is World War III just play into their hands. Masses of fighters on the back of pickup trucks, twisted souls plotting in apartments or garages, they pose an enormous danger to civilians. They have to be stopped, but they do not threaten our national existence.
You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45 or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. To end the news, a look at the top stories. Governor Udome Emmanuel has advocated the strengthening of economic and other ties between Akwa Ibom, Republic of Jamaica and Kingdom of Belgium. The governor made the advocacy when he received envoys from Jamaica and Belgium at the government house. We also brought you a story that the state government has flagged off free eye care services to reduce incidents of preventable blindness in the state. That's our package this morning. Thanks so much for being there. Have a great day. Good morning. Here is the public service announcement. All permanent secretaries and heads of extra-ministerial departments in Akwa Ibom State Public Service are invited to an emergency meeting with the head of civil service today, Thursday, January 14, 2016, at Governor's Office Next, Wellington Basi Way, Uyo. Time is 10 o'clock. They are to please attend with their heads of account. Date again is today, Thursday, January 14, 2016. Time 10 o'clock this morning. Attendance is mandatory. This is signed by Ekarabong Akpan Moses, Head of Civil Service.
Up the volume, grab a juicy slice of life and live on the edge without breaking the bank. Introducing the new, outstanding, vibrant and affordable Nova Bouquet from StarTimes. Walking on the wild side has never been easier. Fasten your seatbelt for the ride of your life. There are no limits, no boundaries. Explore a world where excitement will engulf you, where you'll be transported to a never-ending world of laughter, music, romance, sports, documentaries, movies, kid shows, and more. Now you can watch everything you have ever wanted at only 600 Naira for the new, outstanding, vibrant, and affordable Nova Bouquet. Life is like a never-ending adventure. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
Audio Jungle.